Transform your app using ChatGPT and Codex. By the end of this video, you'll know how to take your existing interface, run it through OpenAI's new image model, and actually implement that improved design into your app. Keep watching and you'll learn how to push your user-facing interface to a whole new level visually. The example is ClawChat, an app I'm building for communicating with AI agents as a digital workforce. It supports direct chats, team chats, multi-agent threads, agent setup, and markdown-based agent management. Functionally, it's good, but visually, the UI feels wrong. It has a retro surf shop, airbrushed 80s and 90s aesthetic that makes it look more like an arcade or skate brand than a serious business product. To fix that, I start by taking a screenshot of the existing UI and asking ChatGPT to redesign it in a more corporate and professional style. The first redesign already looks much better, although it adds an extra left-hand navigation column that I don't want, so I tell it to remove that. Once that's gone, the design feels polished and worth implementing. The next step is to ask ChatGPT to generate a wireframe from the redesigned UI, including practical implementation details like spacing, borders, widths, and heights. I also tell it what front-end stack I'm using, so the output is useful. The first wireframe doesn't match the redesigned UI closely enough, so I attach the redesigned image again and explicitly tell it the wireframe must match that image exactly. That produces a much better result. This is where the new OpenAI image model is especially impressive. It's not just generating pretty visuals, it's understanding layout, spacing, structure, and readable text well enough to create something genuinely useful for implementation. Once I have the wireframe, I open a new chat and ask for a sanity check. Do the measurements look believable? Are there any hallucinations? And are the dimensions and details actually usable? After that, I notice the wireframe colors are slightly off, so I use Chrome's color picker to sample the real colors from the redesigned image and correct them. Then I ask ChatGPT to generate a detailed Codex prompt, using the redesigned UI as the visual target and the wireframe as the structural guide. Before running Codex, I create a separate UI branch so I can experiment without affecting the main branch. After Codex makes the changes, I open the app in the browser and review the result. It's clearly improved, but not perfect, which is completely normal. So I take a new screenshot of the updated UI, feed it back into ChatGPT along with Codex's implementation summary, and ask what still needs changing. Then I ask for a refinement prompt. I always review that prompt before using it. In one case, ChatGPT tried to force a fixed width layout, so I corrected that and made clear the interface needed to stay flexible. A useful extra trick is to open a second ChatGPT thread with the target UI, current UI, and wireframe and ask it to explain exactly what needs to change. That second thread often notices things the first one missed, and combining both responses gives a stronger prompt. I repeat this refinement loop a few times. But eventually, the long detailed prompts become less useful and start to overload Codex. That's when I switch into a lighter Phase 2 workflow. In Phase 2, I stop using huge prompts and instead give Codex the latest screenshot, the wireframe, and the target UI image, with short instructions to compare them and refine specific areas. I can also ask Codex to verify its own work by opening the app, taking a screenshot, and comparing it against the target. As the design gets closer, I move from broad instructions to precise micro tweaks. Reduce padding, tighten spacing, move text slightly, change heights, or adjust corner radii. Eventually, I often stop using the wireframe entirely and just compare the current UI against the target UI until it matches. So the workflow is redesign the old UI, generate a wireframe, use ChatGPT to create implementation prompts for Codex, iterate a few times, switch to screenshot-based refinement, and finish with detailed micro adjustments. That's how you take an outdated interface and turn it into the exact design you want using OpenAI's image model and Codex. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, please subscribe and leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.